I want to thank God for this victory and all the victories we have had in the last 50 years, 55 years of struggle since 1971. I also want to thank the NRM members and all the leaders who have been mentioned here, because all of them played a critical role in this victory. I want to thank the armed forces for maintaining peace. I want to thank the religious leaders for praying for this success, many of them. I want to thank even the cultural leaders. Many of them are very responsive. They are very responsible. They don't support bad things. Although they are non-partisan, but they work for peace.
Not an election. It was a premeditated power grab and a military coup against the sovereignty of the Ugandan people. A chorus of threats. And then you're next. From General Muhoozi Kainerugaba's tweets vowing to crush opposition, to the parliamentary rhetoric of his Patriotic League of Uganda PLU group, members like David Kabanda, Minister Balam Barugahara, and NRM regime leaders like Speaker Anita Among and Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayebwa, among others, the regime said months ago that the result was decided before the first vote was cast, similar to previous and regional elections.
My name is Herein from the Kenya Human Rights Commission. I proceed from where Monasi has left. Totalitarian tactics, darkness and blood, digital darkness. The nationwide internet shutdown was a strategic blackout to facilitate industrial-scale ballot stuffing in favor of Museveni, enforced disappearances, arbitrary arrests, and detentions of the citizenry, as well as the opposition supporters and leaders. We have overwhelming evidence of Electoral Commission, EC officials, security forces, and the Ghetto Brigade militia critiquing ballots in favor of Museveni while the world was blinded. Systemic terror at polling centers and the decapitation of oversight. The sanctity of the ballot box was desecrated through a coordinated campaign of state-sponsored terror aimed at opposing agents and independent observers. In a blatant display of electoral fraud, agents of the National Unity Platform, NUP, were systematically chased away from polling stations prior to voting or abducted immediately after to prevent them from witnessing the tallying process. We condemn the lawless falsification of declaration of results forms and the only primary evidence of the people's will, which were violently stolen from agents by security operatives. The intimidation extended to the voters themselves. In districts like Mitiana and Butambala, citizens were scattered from their designated polling stations by force to facilitate full-scale daylight ballot stuffing by placing Robert Changulai, Bobby Wine under house arrest and abducting key supervisors like NUP Electoral Commission Chair John Sebufu and other NUP coordinators and vice presidents. The regime ensured that the counting process was a one-sided, fraudulent exercise conducted in total darkness. The unprecedented and illegal militarization of the democratic process. We witnessed a chilling transition from a civilian election to a total military occupation, masterminded by a family cabal. The involvement of the Ugandan People's Defense Forces, UPDF, and special security units were beyond security and moved into active criminal interference. violating both Ugandan and international human rights laws. This militarization was characterized by a wave of high-profile arrests and enforced disappearances, including the arrest of NUP Vice President Honorable Lina Zedriga from her home in Gayaza, the abduction of Honorable Bright Muhuza, Mbarara South candidate, and Jacqueline Tukamushabe. The January 15, 2026 exercise was not an election. It was a military operation designed to bypass the biometric voter verification kits, which were deliberately sabotaged despite costing billions to allow the Electoral Commission to announce results at the National Tallying Center that bore no resemblance of the actual declaration of results forms from the ground. The high cost of the ballot. This electoral coup is stained by the blood of over 50 citizens. We specifically condemn the January 16 massacre of 10 people murdered during a military raid on the home of NUP Vice President, Honorable Mwanga Kivumbi, in Butambala, and many others that lost their lives across the country, bringing to the total to almost 50 out of this election so far.